Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we are here to talk about probably the one of the biggest online card games right now. Aside from the ones that have real life variants, this card game is called Shadowverse. I know, it's not my usual Yu-Gi-Oh content, but hey, we wanted to try a new game out. I tried it out for about like a solid 6, 7 months. uh, Ultimately, this game is really good, and honestly, I'm here to just explain why. So at a later point in the video, I mentioned when I start playing, I just realized it's not actually the funny month range that I came up with. Oh man, jeez, yeah. Sorry about that, fellas. Here's how we're gonna be formatting this video. I'm going to start out with the bad, the stuff that I'm just kind of okay with, and I mean it's mostly just there, the general gameplay loop, and then we'll talk about the good, because why not? We'll end off with the good, since I think everybody wants to end this on a positive note. Alright, let's talk about everything bad. Okay, first and foremost, this game's free-to-play experience, like, look, how do I put this? This is a class-based card game. So you have 7 classes. Yeah, this game's free-to-play experience might easily be way worse than Yu-Gi-Oh's. I think, at least. I'm gonna be honest. I spent like maybe like $40 on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel during my entire time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and felt decent. I mean, I wasn't able to get every single deck that came out, but you know, the big thing is, right, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a class-based card game. This is a class-based card game. You're not going to be able to have decks for every single class if you are a free-to-play gamer. Now, the good thing, though, is that obviously you only need the Battle Pass, and that's about it. Don't worry, the review bomb is not correct. This game is not that bad. Second bad thing, and second really huge complaint actually, the first week of every single, not first week, sorry, the first month of every single new card set is awful in terms of the metagame. This is what the first month of the metagame looked like. Like, this was an entire month, pretty much, right? They were very, well, actually, they did try to nerf it, but, you know, unfortunately, trying doesn't always help. And to be fair, this is literally how every single first month of a new card set usually ends up looking. I think like maybe set 4 and 5 were like good, but then like set 3, set 6, and set 7 obviously, you know, just had these very dominant metagames where one deck was just so much better than everything else. I'm not sure if tier 0 doesn't mean bad. I want to throw that out there. Tier 0 doesn't always mean bad, but I definitely don't think most people are a fan of tier 0. Alright, and I guess we'll talk about the meh. The stuff that I just kind of like, I don't really care. It's there. I mean, let's see. Let's talk about the decks. Actual decks themselves. We have decks that take skill and are very hard, usually meant for the pro player, to be honest. And then we have the decks that are easy, very easy to pilot, and are clearly meant for casuals. This is usually fine. I mean, most other games have these. You know, even Yu-Gi-Oh! Has this type of thing, despite how unapproachable that game looks. And yeah, it's honestly all I have to say about this one. Another thing is the fact that the competitive scene is actually accessible. Like, you can play competitive Shadowverse and genuinely, like, reasonably get there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, like, jump through hoops and hurdles. I think all you really have to do, if you live in, like, Asia, you have to be, like, available sometime at, like, buttfuck little of night time, right? It's probably daytime in Asia, but I think the last time I attended a tournament, it was in the buttfuck middle of night because I'm not in Asia, obviously. And if you happen to be in America, I believe it's like what, every single like Sunday afternoon they have a tournament. Well, maybe not every single one, but most of the time it's Sunday. They just have a tournament going, and you can earn real life money. I know, crazy. And honestly, I think the competitive scene being accessible like this is honestly, you know what? We're gonna add this to the perk section because honestly, most other card games competitive scene is very inaccessible. Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to like I think it's like what, stay up 3 days in a row and play games forever throughout those entire 3 days and not drop a singular game. Magic, I mean, geez, do I even want to begin? And Pokemon, you just have to pray it's somewhere in your area. I didn't want to randomly disrupt the meh section because honestly, there's nothing in this game that I feel really meh about. But let's go and talk about the general gameplay loop, since, I'm sure everybody here is wondering, what exactly could possibly be the deal here? Alright, general premise of this game. Both players start at 20 life, you try to play a few creatures, and you try to pretty much whittle this life total down to 0. Hopefully you're not the one that got that. Hopefully your life total didn't drop to 0 during this. This is the general gameplay loop. Cast a few spells, maybe do a few silly win con shenanigans that shouldn't be a thing, and of course, there you go. You have won the game. Obviously, a lot more details to that than what I gave, obviously. But yeah, every single deck has their own little game plan that they're trying to play towards. Some of them are absolutely, just decent. Some of them are honestly pretty cool and are good. And then others just, why is that a thing? But now that we're done getting over the premise, let's, without spoiling any crazy details, let's go ahead and go straight to the good stuff. Like we definitely weren't already doing. Obviously, let's go ahead and talk about some of the good things that this game has going. First and foremost, this game is simple. It is so much easier to get into this game than it is to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my goodness, this game genuinely was a breath of fresh air. Instead of it being spreadsheet simulator number 6-7, it's like so much better. You can read your cards, you can understand what's happening, you don't have to remember lines. It is so great. Another thing is that this game is very forgiving. How do I put this? One mistake doesn't instantly fry the entire game. Like, I genuinely hated that so much when I would just lose because I made one singular small mistake. Shadowverse, I mean, at the highest level, yeah, but I think that's for every single game at the highest level. At, like, lower level, it is completely fine to make, like, maybe 1 or 2 mistakes, and you should probably still be fine, which I think is just so much better for the new player experience. Despite how awful the free-to-play experience might be, it is definitely way better for the new player experience. And last but not least, this game doesn't have any stacks pieces. That's right, there's literally not I think there's only like one small floodgate-ish. Honestly, it's not even that much of a floodgate since it's pretty much just summoning sickness, which is already in the game, by the way. But I guess it applies to your Storm and Rush followers now. But aside from that, I mean, there's literally no floodgates, which is just so much better. I can actually play my cards. I can play the game that I intended to log in and play.